Jojon Sky asks, what will be your specialization, your job for your career in terms of you doing college? So, last semester I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. Like, I'm a really boring guy, and I don't have like a interest that pops up. Like, there's nothing that really piques my interest or curiosity much. So I didn't know what to do, but then I decided that since I'm good in math, using that to my advantage would probably be good. So I decided that business would probably be a good choice to go with. So I switched to business for this semester, and if I continue on, I'll probably go for. My teacher recommended me positions like financial management, financial manager. So I might go for that, but of course, if I something like the CEO of a company would be better, of course. But that's the general area for which I'm aiming: business and finance stuff. Okay, next question. Drampton asks, can you make a review about the GU3? It's 1,000,000% beast, just like you. So first off, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. And second of all, I'll see what I can do. Gun reviews usually, like, I don't know what you guys expect out of gun reviews. Do you just want me to put the stats on the screen and talk about how I feel about the weapon, or do you want me to go in details like the AR guard review video that I did? So if you guys want more review videos, go check out the AR guard review that I made and see if that is like over your expectations or that is exactly what you want. Because if that is what you want, those videos take a lot of time to make and they're not gonna appear very frequently. But if you just want something a lot more simple, like me putting the stats on the screen and talking about the gun and how I feel it compares to other guns and how I do with it, then I could make them more often. So let me know. Next question from Jack the Noob again. What are your favorite weapons for all classes, and what's your favorite game mode? So my favorite game mode is free for all, of course, because, and the reason for that is that unlike TDM or round-based game modes, you don't have to deal with like half of the bullshit in the game. So there's no spawn trapping, you don't need to carry a team, other stuff as well, but like those two are some of the major points or reasons why FFA is my favorite game mode. And for my favorite weapons for all classes, for the rifleman, although I usually tend to go back to the FY103 because I find it to be the most reliable overall, I would probably have to say the MS Radic is my favorite gun in the whole game. The favorite rifle in the whole game. I would say Carcom assault rifle, but that's just way too weak compared to the newer weapons that get released. As where the MS Radic is actually really, really good and might even be able to compete with them. So I'll go with MS Radic. For engineer, obviously the Carcom SMG Master Race. For sniper, if the TWM, the original one, wasn't shit, I would say that, but since it's shit, I would have to go with the TWM X308. And lastly for medic, now medic I don't really care, but the guns that, like, I don't have a favorite one that's like, I absolutely love this weapon, but if I would be to name the ones I like the most, they're the ones that usually have like a cool like animation and reload and cool sound effect, like when you shoot, when you fire them, which would consist of the Richmond 870 RIS, the PHS 15, the PEC KT, which actually that was like back when boxes weren't for credits only. That was like the best shotgun you could get from, because it was in vendors and it was really strong. So I really like it, and I have quite a bit of experience with that. There's also the Anatolet, or sorry, the Anatolia, their official name, and of course the US-12, because who doesn't like a gun that kills everyone just by looking at them? So yeah. Next, Banana Plays HD asks, will you be doing a tutorial? You're so good. So first off, thank you very much again. I appreciate the compliment and the nice comment. But when it comes to tutorial, a lot of people have asked me to do like both sniping tutorial and just headshot or aiming tutorial. So like, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't consider myself a really good player, or just a good player at all. I consider myself an average player, and if I do make a tutorial video for these two classes, I'm not sure if it's going to be very useful, but since so many of you guys have requested it, I will try my best to make a tutorial for sniping and for headshots soon. But for the time being, I'll link a few videos in the description that are exactly about aiming, and they're basically tutorials to help you improve at the game. The guys over at 13 Plays, or the Clan 13, have made the videos. I'll put them in the description so that for the time being you guys can check them out. And anyways, those videos will probably suffice with helping you get better at the game, because all the players from 13 are just like way better than me, so their tips and I guess advices would probably be a lot more effective as well. So to get back to the question, I will be looking into making a tutorial video for both sniping and headshotting, or just rifleman and aiming in general. Next question, Justin asks, why do people hate Canadians so much? Now, I don't really know, like, maybe it's like xenophobia, I don't know. I don't understand why you should hate people who are like famous for being humble and like apologizing for everything and shit. It's kind of funny to me. I don't really care that everybody hates Canadians, but yeah, it is what it is. I don't know why people hate Canadians. Okay, next question. Kokoska CZ asks, how long time are you play Warface? So I'm assuming he asks for how long or since when have you played Warface? And the answer to that is, I've been playing since closed beta, which started in January 17th of 2013, so 4 years ago. And the amount of how much playtime I have, that's around 1,500 hours, or 1,456 hours to be exact. Next question, Junu's033 asks, what is the best class setup for sniper? So best class setups are really a difficult question to answer, because it really depends on the player himself and your playstyle. But if I give you more general advices on improving your sniper class, it would be that, first off, since your weapon is the best at long range, you need to have a reliable secondary to help you in close quarters or close range. And for that, I would suggest semi-auto or fully auto pistols, so like the S18G or the SCCC, because if you're not in a range where you can't use a sniper, you're in close range where you need something that kills like I don't know how to say it, but from my experience, semi-auto pistols are a lot more useful in close quarter situations than normal pistols. So I would recommend using those on the sniper class, since that's when you would need them the most, your secondary. And other than that, there's also it would be also important to have regenerative armor, because The only time when you would be really in danger, I guess, would be in close quarter situations. If you survive that, you're most likely gonna have a low amount of health. So if you have regenerative armor, you're gonna survive those situations and come out on top and be able to continue normally. But if you don't have regenerative armor, from far range, you're alright anyways, with or without it, because you're a sniper. But if you escape from a close range without regenerative armor, you basically can't do anything anymore. So that's my main two tips for improving your sniper class setup. But if you're a sniper who rushes and goes for the kills, like is very aggressive, something like fast boots or warlord boots, I guess, would be the best. But if you're a more moderate sniper who like not that he camps, but that you sometimes rush, sometimes you stay back, you like analyze the situation and everything. Another like some other type of boot that would help in any situation would be better. Like personally, I use anti-mine shoes on all my classes because it completely eliminates a whole issue in the game, at least a whole threat, I should say, when you're playing, which is mines. So that's what I usually use, but you have to choose based on what your playstyle is. Next up, FDGR asks, what's your opinion about the game? Community, bugs, balance, etc. Based that it's a free-to-play game. Now, my opinion is that the game is terribly failing. The community, most people say it's toxic and like very toxic and bad, but I don't really have that. I don't think that's the case. It's more that I think people have that impression because the game is so broken and shit that all you see on the forums or all you see in game is people raging and being rude because, like, let's say he hit the guy in the face and he tanked that shot, obviously he's gonna be mad. But I don't think, if the game wasn't broken, it wouldn't have been, like, the community wouldn't have looked as toxic as it does right now. But about bugs, there's a lot of them. Like, I don't see what the devs are doing. Not bugs really, but more like issues in the game in general. And for balance, that's just non-existent. Like, there's no balance in progression rate. Box weapons completely destroy vendor and shop weapons pretty much most of the time. What else? The classes aren't really balanced. You can clearly observe that since like 80% of players are always playing sniper, or in any room that you join, usually the snipers outnumber other players by a lot. So the game has a lot of issues, and the fact that it's a free-to-play game is no excuse to say that's fine. A lot of people get the impression that a free-to-play game needs to be shit, or is expected to be shit, but just because it's free-to-play doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be bad. Like, let's take the example, the case of League of Legends. Like, I don't play League of Legends, but I know it's got the fact that it's so damn popular and it's basically the most popular game in the world obviously means that it's a really well made game. Like, it doesn't have many issues, it's well balanced, or like it doesn't have many problems. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's still a free to play game. Like, though I think Dota is free to play as well. What else? TF2 is pretty popular. Like, the fact that a game being free to play isn't an excuse for it being broken, or for the devs not fixing the game, at least. So yeah, that's what I think. The game, my opinion about the game would be that I really thought that the game had a lot of potential. Like, I'm talking about if they actually had done the correct like if they had taken the correct decisions and made the right moves, I think, in my opinion, the game could have even surpassed CS:GO. Like that's how much I believe like this game was great and had how much potential the game had. But with all the moves that Crytek has made and the fact that they just don't care about the community at all, I really think that the game is going down the drain, and it probably has no future, at least outside of Russia. So yeah. Next question from PC Master Race. What you favorite gun in Warface? My favorite gun in the whole game is the Kharkam SMG Master Race. Next question from John Legends. He asks, which YouTuber or I guess Warface player inspired you to do... I don't know actually what WT stands for. Which YouTuber inspired you to do YouTube videos? Now, I don't think there was anyone who really inspired me to do YouTube videos. Kickstar, some of you guys might know him. He used to play Warface back in the day. He used to be in a clan called... He made a pro clan called Elysium. Like that's when the whole Exodus and Uplifted stuff started. Like we started getting serious and recruiting good players and doing clan wars and going a little bit more competitive. He's the one who I'd say started that whole thing on NA at least. He used to upload from time to time these videos that were like basically moment videos, and I guess you could kind of say he inspired me to do that type of video, but I don't think there's really any YouTuber who inspired me to do YouTube, because I'm not doing YouTube to be a YouTuber. I'm just doing YouTube to put out Warface content. That's just how it is. So, I guess the answer to the question is none. Next up, John Smith asks, just out of curiosity, which is better, R16A4, T27, or all L85? Sorry, that dumbass name I don't know how to spell. I already have all our L85, but I want something full auto to round up my inventory. R16, most overpowered DPS, highest damage, RPM T27, medium range, RPM recoil, L85, no recoil. Okay, so if we compare these three weapons, in my opinion, obviously the Dunefield, or the Down Syndrome as I call it, beats these two weapons and basically any other weapon in existence, because in my opinion it's the most broken piece of shit in the game. But since you already have it and you want something that non-auto, that isn't full auto. But between the two other guns, I would say that
Are you doing the...
I don't know actually, like I personally would go with the T27. I think that's probably stronger, but since everyone switched from T27 to R16, the R16 is probably stronger in general. So like R16 is probably stronger, because otherwise why would everyone switch from T27 to R16? Back in the day, like before R16 was buffed, everyone, like the most mainstream weapon that all the pro players used was the T27, and after R16 got buffed, everyone switched to that. So the most reasonable explanation would be that the R16 is better. So yeah, that's for that. Next up, X Techno Wizard asks, how come you play Warface and not any other FPS game? Like a big name game example, the COD franchise. Warface is one basically pay-to-win game from one perspective, because you might end up wasting more money than if let's say you bought the Blobs 3. I'm not arguing that Warface is one hell of a game for a free one, but what do you think? So the reason for that, I think, is basically because, like, why would I play like two FPS games at the same time? If you play Warface, like in Warface I have progressed so much, I have put so many hours in, and I quite frankly, when the game isn't being a little bitch, I do enjoy playing Warface. So why would I go out of my way and try other FPSs as well? I don't see why I would do that. And anyways, I think like if you talk about a game like Battlefield, sure. Battlefield is very different from like the usual FPSs like Warface or COD or CS:GO and all that stuff. I might play stuff like Battlefield because it's different, but games that are very similar like CS:GO or COD, I'm not gonna play them because I'm already playing something that's very familiar, similar, which is Warface. So yeah, that's my answer. Next, John Doe asks, are you going to do a video with your subs? The answer to that is probably yes, sometimes in the future. The problem with this is that I don't think like uh, as time goes by, I'm getting more and more busy with school, and also it's hard to set up rooms where you play with your subs only. Like it will take a long time to do that, but I will try to do that in the future. Second question, have you thought of doing a tips and tricks video? I already answered that. And 3, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Definitely chocolate. Like if there's no chocolate flavor ice cream, I'm just not gonna eat ice cream. That's how much I like chocolate flavored ice cream. Next, Trance asks, wanna make a dualtage and congrats on 1K, bro. So thank you very much. And for dualtage, sure, I just message me and we'll see what we can do. Next, Pepe the Wolf asks, my question is, who is the best Warface player in NA Warface in your opinion? That's still playing and the best player in NA that stopped playing. So the one that's the best player that's playing right now, in my opinion, that would be Casbo. I saw some people reply to your comment saying it's Desi and that like he got 92 kills in free fall or some shit, but first off, let me say that the amount of kills that you get in a free fall game doesn't necessarily mean anything, because that depends on the players you're going against, that depends on what gun you're using and everything like that. But from what I've seen from both of these players, I would say that Casbo is probably better, but Casbo hasn't made a video in a very long time, so stuff might have changed, and also I don't play with these players like very often, and I'm not like, yeah, I'm not always playing with them, so I can't really say for sure. And also it's really hard to compare players directly and determine who's better, so you probably will never get a straight answer for that. It's always going to be like a personal opinion, but my personal opinion is that Casbo is probably the best player in NA. And the best player who stopped playing, now there's quite a few people, like I don't really recall all of the players who played back in the day who were really good, but I think the person who comes to my mind who would be probably the best candidate for the best player to be chosen as the best player in NA before, or who stopped playing, is the guy who won the first tournament that we had in NA. It was a free-for-all tournament, surprisingly, and I think the guy who won it was a guy named Grosse Branch, or if you're French, Grosse Branche. Yes, I'm French, I speak French. I remember he was really, really good at the game. I think he was an Exodus, pretty sure. He was like a really, really good player who always did well in games. Like in any game mode, basically, he really did well. And also, probably like really close to him, there's also another player called Zenny, or right now his name is Gichi or Gichi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Oh, his name used to be Champion Red, all in caps. Now there is a player right now playing currently that has a similar name, but if you read his name correctly, like attentively, it's not actually Champion Red, it's like Championed or something. But Champion Red, or Gichi or Zenny, he was like really, really, really fucking good. Like his KD was like 4 point something. I don't even know how. He did like so damn good in any game mode that he played, like against pretty much any players. And like, yeah, he was a really good player. There's also Pop, who was really good, but I don't think he was like the best player or anything. There was also Sim. I'll put the name on the screen right now. He joined Sleepy, which is basically the ancestor of 13, I guess you'd call it. He joined 13 or Sleepy, sorry, and he was like a really good player as well. So he might be a candidate for like the best players in NA that stopped playing. Okay, next question.